I got like this really big problem, and that is that I think I'm in love. Today's date is wait a minute. It's I got this TV guide in front of me, and that's how I'll find out what day it is. Or what date. It's Monday night. Okay, it's February 23rd, 1981. And it's like 2:20 in the morning, and I can't sleep. And this really big problem is that I think I'm in love. And whenever I'm in love, I get all crazy, and I lose control of everything, and I screw it all up, And with Patty, it seems like she's the kind of girl that guys fall for left and right. And I know with me, man, that's the biggest way to fuck it up is when I fall for somebody bad. Because I get jealous and screws up. I don't know, man. I just hope it works out. I mean, I've really flipped over her. And this should be a happy thing. But whenever there's something that I really want, I guess, I convince myself it's going to leave me and act accordingly to make sure it does, For one thing, she's beautiful. She's about 5 feet, about 5 feet tall. She says she's 5'2", but I don't think she's even that tall. And she's real skinny, She's about 90 pounds. And proportionate body, beautiful face. Her nose is big, but to me that's like those blemishes on Robert Redford's face, It either adds to or takes away from the beauty, and in this case, with her it adds to the beauty. And she's had a lot of boyfriends, Her last one was a black dude that was like 28 and married and has 2 kids. She's weird, man. Like, we'll go to the Rat after class and have a couple of drinks, and then, she'll drive me to my car, or I drive her to her car, and we'll kiss when we get there. We'll start making out. Like this one day, man, I had her hot as fucking hell, man. She climbed up over onto my lap, and I was just, man, she was getting really hot. Like I was late for work that day, a half hour late because of her. And then she said, for Friday, what are you doing this Friday? Let's get together and do something. She's going. And I said, well, I can get this apartment. You want to come down? She seemed kind of hesitant, I guess. But more or less for it, she said, yeah, okay. Then she said, I gotta warn you, I look like shit in the morning. So that's right, I don't feel too good myself in the morning. And, she kind of put it off, and she never came over, but she goes, you want to come over to my house? So I said, yeah, okay. Figuring she's probably under the impression that I just love them and leave them. They get that impression from me. And so I proved to her that she means something. I went over to her house, and had a great time, man. She's got a great family, really nice family. And I know her parents like me, because I wanted them to, because I like her so much. And we just sat in the kitchen for about an hour talking. She gave me a couple beers, and all I could do was just kiss her and talk. I was in such a good mood. Then watch TV and for like 2 more hours, like 2 in the morning. And I had to go to work at 9:30 the next day. I didn't care, man. I didn't even want to get drunk, just wanted to be with her. And man, I had such a good time. So then I went home, and before I left, she goes, "Call me when you get home to make sure," she said, "so we'll go to sleep at the same time." And also, so I guess that was the main reason. So I called her up, I didn't know what to say really, and hung up. After a short while, and then called up the next day, the next day was Saturday night. She said that she had to go to her old boyfriend's, who was in bad shape, crying and shit, and she had to go over there and talk to him. So she said, that she'd call me at 5:30, and she didn't. So at 6 o'clock, I'm thinking. So I finally called her back at 6, and she said she had just gotten back from work, and why shouldn't I believe it? But I always had the feeling that they're lying to me. They're making fun of me or something, using me or something. Huh. It's really, insecurity is a pain in the ass, man. It gets in the way. So Saturday night, and she couldn't, do anything. And I said, well, Richie asked me to the firehouse bar, She goes, well, look, don't wait around for me. Go ahead and go out if you want. I said, well, look, I'll wait till about 7 o'clock. Call me if you can get out of it. She never called back. And then today she didn't call. And so here it is tonight, and I am so hung up on this chick. It is pathetic. I mean, really, man, it is really pathetic. I mean, I really want her bad. I mean, not just physically, I want her, And I'm hoping I can play it right. But I just really, I just want her to be I just want her to love me, because I've fallen for her fast. I mean, I really love her. I really do, man. And that means that it's gonna get screwed up, because when I'm seeing somebody that I don't really care much about, then I got them, just like that. Then they really get into me. Like with April, I picked her up in this bar. She's really screwed up in the head anyway. But I picked her up in this bar one night, and I went and parked, and we screwed around in my car. And then she was hanging all over me after that. Kept on coming around. And I just kept on ignoring her, and she came back for more or less. I don't know, man, I'm really mixed up. but I really want this chick. I mean, like, I even started working out tonight, you know. I can't sleep, you know. I can't even sleep because I keep on thinking about her. She's friendly, you know. She's very, very friendly, talkative, and beautiful. That smile of hers, man, and that face of hers is incredible. I mean, like, she was really, you know, showed so much affection when I was over there Friday night. And, like, man, I really, you know, showed the same. And I just hope it, you know, to her wasn't like just some guy. Because this is definitely not just some chick. So, like, I hope I can keep my cool and stay with it, you know? And I just really hope she gets into me like I get into her. I mean, she is really something else. I can't say enough about her. The only thing, like, I can say, you know, negatively about her is that I'm afraid she might, you know, leave me. Or just say, I don't want to see you anymore, that kind of thing. And see, if I keep on thinking that, it's going to fuck it up. But I can't help it when I'm in love. That's the way that I act. Anyway, so I couldn't sleep tonight. Like, you know, went to bed at about 11 o'clock. And I was tired, beat tired, but I just couldn't sleep. So I came into the family room, lay down on the couch, you know, watched TV for a while. Had a few cigarettes. Drank some of the old man's booze. And turned the TV off and laid down for about an hour. And I was like half and half. I couldn't sleep though. I just kept on thinking about her. And so I woke up. I mean, decided I was going to make this recording and talk about it and get it off my chest. Went over to Mark's the other night, a couple nights ago. I think it was like, this weekend. It must have been Saturday. And he had called me up, or I'd called him up about something. And he's invited me over. And I said I'd be over about 7. And he goes, why don't you wait till 7:30? Well, why not 7? He goes, well, it's 7:30. That's when everything starts. And that's when people will be over, you know. So, like, I said, well, I can't come over at 7. Fuck it, man. So I went over to Carol's, and I drank, you know, with her for like a while. And we got pulled over by the cops. It was weird. She's like 17, but she's smart as hell, man, or mature or something. But she comes across like she's almost 20. And we've been drinking, and she took her brother's car out so I can get the 6-pack. And on the way back, she was swerving because she's not used to the car or nothing. And we got pulled over, and like for half an hour, man. And this kid in the back seat had like a gram of hash. I made him eat it because the man was back there. Eat it, yeah. So he ate it. And like an hour and a half later, he was pretty fucked up over at Carol's. And then about 2 o'clock, I left, and she said, come back again, you know. And then I went over to Mark's about 2 in the morning, and he told me that Shirley had been there earlier looking for me. And I wouldn't believe him, you know. I could have sworn he was bullshitting me. I thought he was making fun of me or something. joking around. He was telling the truth, you know. He was getting really pissed off that I wouldn't believe him, that he, you know, because it looked like I thought he was lying. And, you know, I got the answer to everything. You know, when I talked to this thing, that's when I really figure it all out. So anyway, she'd been looking for me. She's wired out, you know, and she came over to Mark's looking for me, saying that I was the only one that could calm her down, that could, you know, get her head together or whatever. And the next day I was working, I was bagging bags in the store, and I'm looking down at the other registers, and then I see this chick that, you know, is beautiful, and I knew her from someplace. Then I remembered it was like Shirley's friend, and then a snap, you know, I looked next to her, and there was Shirley, and Shirley did not see me. She wasn't looking at me. And then I turned away, and I made sure I didn't look over there again. It's like I got that weird feeling, you know, of like, wow, there she is. And then as she's walking out of the store, she had to pass my register, and I just made sure, I just kind of turned my back on her. It's like, you're gonna call me this time, you know, because I've made a couple attempts to, I've called a couple times, and nothing, you know. So this time it's up to her. So, like, the only way to keep my head together, as far as Patty goes, is by making sure I am circulating with other people. And that means Carol, and maybe even Dina, who's a 16-year-old girl from who's crazy about me because I took her out one night, and she had a good time, and she's crazy about me. And she's young enough to let it show through all the way. And then there's this girl in my radio class that is not too bad. It seems really nice. And I just might, you know, have to socialize with her too, just so I can keep my head together, and so Patty will turn on to me. I don't know if she's used to the kind of dude that will mess around with other chicks, you know, while he's seen her, because, in my opinion, going out with her is like, that's it, perfect right there, man. Nothing else, you don't need nothing else. And I keep on thinking that everybody else that's gone out with her is felt the same way, and so she's so used to everybody falling in love with her that it's like, oh, blase, you know, I leave him here and just pick up another one, that kind of thing. But I hope I can make it with her, man. Hope I play my cards right. Hope I keep that confidence going. You know, this tape recorder is a pain in the ass, because at the end of the tape it gets real fucked up. It starts changing speed or something. I'm gonna listen back to what I said.